What's going on, everyone? Ruse here, and welcome back to the channel. So, moving on to floor 8 in our free-to-play Abyss guide, we're just going to go straight into what the characters are wearing and how to beat this floor. I'm going for Geo Traveler for the main damage dealer on one of the teams, since it's just going to giving me a lot of damage overall, and Geo's really good at just doing with enemies no matter what their element is. For artifacts, I am using my 5-star artifacts now. Since you're at around floor 8, you have 2 guaranteed 5-star artifacts. You can also get a lot of these just from playing at this point. So I am using these. I have a 2-piece gladiator set to help increase attack percent, and a 2-piece crit set since your elemental burst can crit and your skills. Just increasing attack percent as much as possible because I don't have a Geo piece leveled yet. That's the only reason why I'm not wearing a Geo percent increase. And for this, just crit damage to help further push the crit damage along. My weapon isn't leveled up. For constellations, I do have all of these. You can get these from just trading the currency in Leeway or doing the story. And I have upgraded my talents a bit, mainly focusing on just these skills more since you're playing the Traveler as more of a caster. For Amber, I'm wearing Sharpshooter's Oath for the weapon, and for artifacts, I'm just increasing her damage a bit just to help out whenever I'm not in melee range. Just a energy set and a crit rate, nothing too crazy on her. The energy recharge is just there to help out. It's nothing that good. I rather would get attack percent if I had the extra pieces. For Xiangling, I'm still using White Tassel, and for artifacts, I am running a crit set on her and a energy recharge set. I want to get those crits off as much as possible, especially with the floor bonus that you can end up getting, and I am running an energy recharge for my sand so I can make sure I get as many elemental bursts off as possible, since it's going to help out a lot, especially in Chamber 2. I am running physical damage because it is a nice bonus and I don't have that many pieces to really trade it out with. And for the last piece, crit damage to help with my crit build. While I was really not wearing anything special, I have just a white iron greatsword on her for defense increase. I'm doing this since I'm not using her for a main damage dealer. I can use the extra defense that I get with some defense percent accessories to make her shield as strong as possible. Everything else really doesn't matter. I'm just aiming for as much defense as possible. Oh, for constellations on Amber and her talents. And also for Xiangling, I did end up getting this with some of the random pulls I did. And I have upgraded her constellation, and I mean her talents, a decent amount. So they are upgraded to help clear this floor. Constellations on Noelle, and her talents are upgraded. Just to show, this is why I'm going so much defense, is because I want that damage absorption to be as high as possible. I'm not really going to be healing too much on this floor because I want to try and stay lower health. Lisa's using Prototype Malice, so I can heal and use her as a side healer with just an unupgraded exile set for the most part, except for the sand. This is just to give the extra energy recharge so I can get that element burst off as much as possible. Barbara's using the Thrilling Tales of a Dragon Slayer. This is a super nice catalyst, 3-star for this effect. It can help increase your damage overall a good amount. And her artifacts are just HP percentages to help make her tankier, and with a maiden set. And for Kea, just an energy recharge sword, get that element burst off as soon as possible with Instructor and Exile. I like the elemental burst, so that's why I go so much with Exile. And I would go 4-piece Exile, but I don't have the extra pieces just to swap and do so. Constellations for him, just the first one. Talents unupgraded except for Glacial Waltz once. Barbara, I do have her second constellation. Helps out. It's not really that much of a game changer. So for floor 8, one thing that's really good to talk about is the disorder. Whenever your health is low, you're going to be getting increases in buffs. 45% is a really nice one with the attack speed increase. The 60% one, 50% damage increase in defense helps a lot. One of the most notable things is this crit damage increase. Part of why I'm going so much crit on these characters is because of this bonus. Once the crit damage goes off and I can get really high numbers with the elemental burst on these characters, and even just the auto attacks as well, it makes a huge difference in clear time. We have to build our team around what we're facing. So our fire team with Xiangling Amber is going to be facing these to get through these shields. And for the second team, we are going to be running the Earth Traveler just to deal with the rest. There's a lot of fire on the second half, but with Barbara and the Geo Traveler, you will just be able to take them down. So you don't have to worry too much about that. We are bringing Noelle on the first team just to help out with healing. She is our main healer, and in case things get rough, that's what she's there for. And then for the first character, I personally prefer going Kea so I can freeze the water enemies, but you don't have to. The lightning will help out with breaking the ice shield. Either works, or the water shield, I mean, I'm sorry. Second team, Traveler, Noelle, or not Noelle, Barbara, and Lisa. The two heals kind of help. They don't do a lot, but you want to stay low. This can help out overall with getting your health up if you don't want to switch to Barbara and risk inflicting water on yourself, because that can be dangerous sometimes. I'm just going to go for whatever's going to give me more damage on all the floors. So in this case, I'm going to go for the attack damage and normal, for the normal in charge. The defense isn't that useful. You want to be kind of low. The lower you are, the more damage you do. And most chamber buffs are always a bad choice. So even though he has the water buff on him, I am avoiding him and getting rid of the ice guy first, since being inflicted with freeze is always going to end up being much more of a pain. I'm not going to focus on dodging too much of the enemy skills because I do want to start losing health, but avoiding getting hit too much is also really important. Whenever the water mage throws out the bubble, you can just walk behind the other mage to make him get hit. Whenever he does start dancing, you can also switch to Noelle, hit him with the greatsword, and do an animation cancel to get them out of it really quickly. This is why I bring Kea on this team as well, so I can keep his shield frozen when it comes to taking him down. Pretty much the same thing on this team. Just go ahead and focus this time the guy with the Abyss bonus. You're going to use Barbara to take down the shields really quickly. And just taking some damage there. They go ahead and start getting the bonuses, but not enough to really damage me that much. I don't want to get too injured, but I still want those bonuses for being low health. Whenever these fireballs land from the Abyss bonus, go ahead and start moving towards your earth walls, because you can use it to help. This is why I bring Lisa for the healing. I don't want to be using Barbara here. Personally, because of how her heals do work. Her elemental burst is gonna end up healing me for too much. And Lisa's will kind of, it heals for a decent amount, but not too much that I can lose, that I can't lose easily. In cases like this, it's just fine to back off. You don't want to get hit by those. Those hurt a lot with the damage that they can end up doing. They're really good 3-star in the first chamber. We can move on to the next one. This chamber is really hard to get 3 stars in without using a lot of elements. You just have to focus on making sure the special mechanic of this floor on taking down the buff the enemies have on them. This is why your teams are set up this way as well, because whenever you'll see it in a bit, but whenever that circle goes off and gives the enemies the buff, they get a lot of stats and making them a lot harder to destroy. So you can hit them with elemental reactions. I use the opposite one, of course, to take down those shields, and it makes their buffs go away. Getting hit by that's fine for our buffs, and now we can focus on taking down, of course, the ranged characters first. The single archers aren't that much of an issue, but you always want to take down the elemental archers. With all my characters being a decently low health, I can now really shred through the enemies. Amber actually does really well on floor 8 in general, so having her is a really nice part as well. With the more difficult enemies down, I can really focus on taking out the rune guard now. I don't have to worry too much about the weaker heal curls. Oops. With Noel's ability up, I do want to try and get a bit of healing off, because I did end up taking a decent amount of damage on my characters and I don't want them to die. Since I have all the constellations that I do have on Xiangling, and her last attack inflicts the effect, that is why I'm auto-attacking there. Using Amber's arrows there isn't a bad idea though. Since these guys are especially resistant to physical damage as much as they are. And there we go. Same thing on this side. You're just going to be playing around using the Traveler's Cast. Of course, take down the ranged guys as much as you can. In general, I personally, on this floor, just like to take care of the healer curls first anyways, since the Geo Traveler is really good at taking them out. No, that's unlucky that the wall actually blocked that and made me take damage there. I want to avoid a lot of the really heavy hitting moves from the Rune Guard, so if I can take small damage to get low enough for the crit damage, that's fine. And the auto target is making me hit the wrong enemy. There we go. Alright, I didn't mean to end up getting hit there. I thought my iframes would have lasted long enough. But it seems I was wrong. I'm just using our iframes to dodge whatever's gonna hit us. And that's chamber 2 down. Don't end up getting any stars here, but if you can get at least one, that's generally okay for your first time through, or if you're not as high AR. That room is generally really hard if you don't have the teams to deal with it, especially when trying to 3-star it, but that's fine. The flowers are pretty easy to take down, so you don't have to worry about that now. I do want to get hit a little bit here on my Xiangling so I can take full advantage of the buff. So I am going to put my shield up and just take a bit of damage off of that. With Amber, we can go ahead and just hit the flower while it charges. And now with our full buff set up, we're able to do a lot more damage taking them down. Much quicker now with the crit damage up and crit rate. At this point, setting off elemental reactions is always super nice. In the case that this happens, having Amber here helps out, because you don't want to walk in and end up killing yourself on the ice. It can be really unforgiving. So just play it safe. And that's the first chamber down. The same thing's pretty much with chamber 2. You're just going to be using Barbara to go ahead and take this one down. And then the Traveler do all the damage. Avoid these if you can. Same thing here of just using Barbara to take down the flower. Uh-oh. Still using your skill off cooldown is going to help out a lot. So even though it's not weak to damage that well right now and it has its resistance up, using your skill to get orbs for your elemental burst off is still really good. I would recommend playing Lisa at this point when it starts dropping meteors like this. Since she's the tallest character, you can use the movement speed difference to your advantage. And with all of this, the floor is practically done. Another 3-star, making this a decently easy 6-star. Crits and being low health is going to be a huge part about beating this floor in general. So that's what I would aim for. And make sure you build your teams around making the enemies on floor 2 don't have their shields up. And just taking down the flowers in general. The Geo Traveler does a lot of damage overall, so you don't have to worry too much about the elemental reactions or anything. So that's it. With all of those done, our floor 1 to 8 guides are now done. I will be working on trying to get my characters to a state where I can do floor 9 with them. That is a lot more difficult to do with the 7 characters. If you guys want to see those, let me know. I will be working towards them. It was really fun making the floor 1 to 8 guides, so thank you so much for everyone that's been using these. I hope they were helpful to you guys in general. If you do enjoy this type of content, please let me know in the comments. If you do enjoy the stuff I make on my channel in general and like guides, subscribe, and please like this video. It does help out a lot. with all of that said, I will see you all in the next one.